presentation competition as part of 75th anniversary of College of Business Administration.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, buyan ka ng magiliw, sa manlulupi, kita masisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo kamang, ay ilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang tinapaan. Ang isang ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nakikinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan mapalik magdidilig. Kung palang araw na maraming pagsip na, buhay langit sa likod. Aming ligaya dapat may mamagin, at namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Okay, thank you for listening, and please, and for the opening.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank everybody for your cooperation in joining this business plan presentation competition as part of our 75th founding anniversary activity. I would like to thank the coaches, in spite of all the loads that we have, sumabay sa mga encoding ng grades, preparation ng finals and everything, still ginawa nyo pa rin nagawa nyo pa rin i-coach yung ating mga estudyante. And also I would like to thank na itong mga participants natin as well as coaches that part of our principle in this new normal, yung for us to be able to sustain. Sabi ko nga yesterday, I wish that we could still sustain another 75 years of anniversary para sa ating college. So sa lahat ng mga ipinakita ninyo, yung mga pagpupuyat, pagsali at pagganap sa obligasyong ito na ibinigay sa atin ng ating kolehiyo, I am very, very much thankful. So I welcome everybody, and again, let's just enjoy this. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Glodo, ito ay mga larong pambata. Kung meron tayong mga larong pangmatanda, ito ay parang larong pambata. Let us just enjoy this competition. At maraming salamat sa lahat ng effort na ibinigay ninyo at inilaan ninyo para sa competition na ito. And make this a competition a successful competition. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cynthia Manalad. And now, let's proceed to the introduction of the judges.
A pleasant day to each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to all of you the judges for today's competition. An alumna of the College of Business Administration, a cum laude, a former college head, a former director for Business Development Center, a graduate program faculty for Business Administration, the director for International Affairs Service of Iris, Dr. Jaisal Mabansag, a product of Business Administration, a sole proprietor at the age of 25 years old, the founder and owner of T-Shack, Miss Maurice Varsaga Parbilia. He is a learning and development professional with experience spanning over 15 years. He has worked with diverse companies, a BPO, a multinational bank, and a technology startup, all instrumental in shaping his love for learning. He has taken on several L&D roles during his stints with these companies: a facilitator, an instructional designer, a learning consultant, a business partner, operations lead, data analyst, and vendor manager, among others. An introvert, he likes to spend his downtimes geeking out on everything he fancies that day. From grunge music, Pinoy flip-top, classical ballet, religious documentaries, conspiracy theories, basically anything. He also loves driving around literally. He would sometimes hop in his car and drive aimlessly without any destination in mind. He can spend an entire afternoon just watching people, observing all their quirks and eccentricities. He loves watching documentaries more than reading books, but that does not mean he doesn't love reading the latest Crichton, Grisham, or Sheldon he can put on his hand. Mr. Patrick Joseph Clement Bellora.
Thank you, judges, for introduction. And now, for the mechanics of the competition. So, pinaghandaan ng bawat isa to. During the presentation, each team will only have 8 minutes presentation and 5 minutes question and answer portion. Each judges shall be given a questions, and take note, guys, judges' decision will always be final. So, let's start. I want every team except for the entrepreneurship to leave the meeting now.
Good morning, everyone. We are going to present the business plan of Champion Cattle Farms Incorporated.
The target market of Champion Cattle Farm Incorporated are those traders, dealers, and vendors where they have the ability to pay cash or pay quickly. They may be vendors in the public markets, traders who supply cattle meat to supermarkets, and they may also be dealers with extensive connections in various areas where there is a high demand for meat or live cattle. The location of Champion Cattle Farm is located in Calatagan, South Batangas, where the location is good access to the port for quick and easy transportation of cattle to customers. The area is also large, where the farm can accommodate 1,800 cattle. It also ensures that the cattle are healthy and at the right weight to distribute to various customers. Statement of the problem. Champion Cattle Farm has 3 major problems. These are the first, lack of investment, which Mr. Lim wants to expand his farm by adding 200 to 300 cattle every month, which cannot be done due to lack of money. Second, lack of supply for cattle, which will affect the health and handling of cattle. Possible lack of supply of food, water, and vitamins needed by every cattle on the farm. And lastly, the lack of personnel, where the Champion Cattle Farm has only a few personnel to take care of the 1,800 cattle. So, here are the 2 questions which will help to provide a solution to the current problem of Champion Cattle Farm Incorporation. How they can get additional capital for the feedlot expansion, and what are the ways that the Champion Cattle Farm can do to increase funds for personnel that will take care of the farm.
In this slide, I will present the Champion Cattle Farms Incorporated business model canvas. In the problem, enclosed here are the problems that Mr. Lim is facing in his business, such as the lack of funds, supply, and personnel. Key activities are the most important actions that the business must perform, especially the marketing, inventory, and logistics. Key resources is also important to make Mr. Lim's business work. He must attain to have physical, human, intellectual, and finance resources. Heart of the perfect cattle farming is our value propositions. To get personal relationships, establish trust, and seed feedback is what the business needs to get along in customers. He used channels through direct offer, social networks, distributors, and to traders. These 3 given customer segments was stated in the target market. Cost structure enclosed these are expenses incurred in the business, and lastly, it stated the source of revenue in the business that you will see in the last slide.
These are the marketing plan of the business, SWOT analysis, strength, easy to transport, good location, weaknesses, lack of personnel, limited supply of cattle, opportunities, attract new customers, ability to develop additional stores, threats, competitor can offer similar products quickly, and competitors' popularity. These are the marketing mix purpose. Product. The Champion Cattle Farm provides fresh and safety yet affordable cattle that consumer will be satisfied. Price. We use cost plus pricing strategy and our selling price will be 8,000 per head weighing 100 kilograms. Place. The business was located at South Batangas Province. It has a good access to the port for easy transport of cattle. Promotion. The business will market the product through direct offers, social networks, distributors, and traders.
Now, let us look into the financial forecast. As you see, the gross profit for a cattle at an average weight of 100 kilograms will be 5,000 pesos, meaning Mr. Lim will have a 62.5% gross margin. Mr. Lim's monthly batches is 200 to 300 cattle. Maximizing 300 cattle per month, the gross profit would amount to 1.5 million pesos. There are also expenses involved in the operations. As stated, the feeding expenses per cattle amounts to 4,200 pesos. There is also a 10,000 pesos monthly overhead cost. The total expenses per month for 300 cattle is about 1,270,000 pesos, except for July since we are considering the 6 months monthly operation. Also, the September have different values because Mr. Lim only purchased 90 cattle during that time. The net profit before taxes will be 230,000 pesos except for July and September because of the same reason previously stated. The forecasted is based on the maximum potential of Mr. Lim's business. Given the forecasted net profit, we can see that there is still room for interest expense once he gets approved for the loan at Development Bank of Batangas. That's all. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you, EMS. Before we start for HRDM, I want everyone to leave except for the HRDM, the judges, Mrs. Cynthia Manalad, and to other participants po ng program para po hindi pa naririnig nila yung presentation ng HRDM. EMS, please leave
No,
the
it's
meeting right now.
EMS. Excuse me, Paul. EMS ang nag-present.
Hindi ma'am, ano na po, HRDM na po eh.
May question and answer portion muna, Paul.
Ay, okay. Sorry po. Sorry.
So HRDM, there will be no participants except Entrepreneurial Management Society for the question and answer portion.
Okay. Sorry. So let's proceed for the question and answer.
May nagre-raise ng hands.
Judges, may about po sa presentation ng EMS, ano po yung masasabi niyo pong question para sa kanila?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I just have one question regarding your financial forecast. Do you have the PowerPoint slide up so that we can just refer to it, or wala? Yung sa video lang.
Yes po, meron po. Actually, we sent a PowerPoint in PDF.
Can we just have it up right now? That's what I'm asking. Because I just want to go back to your financial forecast, and the question actually is, I did notice that you planned it out from July to December, if I'm not mistaken. Have you considered business shrinkage? Kasi pineg nyo doon na buwan-buwan, 2.4 million with exceptions to yung September, if I'm not mistaken, or July, where you had to put it down. Ang tanong ko doon is, have you considered, or was it an assumption na on those months? Because it's a forecast, are we looking at that pare-pareho siya on those months? Or the only basis for those 2 months to be different was because lumiit yung number of cattle na binili natin? In short, the question is, have you considered shrinkage as part of your forecast? Sales shrinkage.
Based po kasi doon sa data na binigay doon po sa case, naka-indicate na po doon. That's why yung July and yung September, nag-iba po siya ng amount.
Yep, those are actuals, but you are looking at the forecast, which means hindi pa nangyayari yun. Tama? So kapag ka nagpo-forecast tayo, we're looking at possibilities, unless I'm understanding it quite differently.
Sa sasagot po, please open your camera po para makita po kayo ng judges kung sino po yung sumasagot. Thank you.
Yes po, it is a forecasted. Yun.
Ayun, at least nakita ko na yung kausap ko.
Opo.
Hi, Steph.
Hello po, sir. So,
Yep.
yes po, forecasted po siya. So, inassume po namin na kapag na-maximize po ni Mr. Lim yung cattle, ito po yung magiging amount or magiging
Okay.
expenses niya.
Yep, okay. That's just what I wanted to know. Kasi when I'm looking at the forecast, that could be one assumption. So the forecast that you presented was a forecast given na ma-maximize yung input, which is all of your inventories, purchases, minus potential liabilities and stuff. Hindi tayo nag-forecast ng say, what if nagkaroon ng sample, nagkaroon ng pandemic, what if nagkaroon ng sakit. So that is just maximized. So we're looking at an optimum forecast. Tama ba? Yes. If that kasi, then you just have to make sure that we put it that's an optimal forecast. Kasi if I'm reading your business plan, I am assuming na inassume na yung mga unforeseen kasi forecast. So if you're looking at optimal forecast, siguro lagay lang natin. No? As for example, if yung problem nyo kasi nangutang siya sa bank, if you're submitting that to me, at least I would know as someone reading it na, okay, ito yung optimal forecast natin. Yun lang naman ang on my end. Just wanted to clarify. Thanks, Steph, for answering the question.
Okay, thank you, Sir Patrick Belora. To other judges, may question pa po ba kayo for the presentation?
Hello. Ayun, kanina din, nalito rin ako dun sa forecast. Pero nung nagtanong na si Sir Pat, nalinawan na rin ako. Yun lang.
Thank you, Ma'am Maurice Padilla. So okay na po tayo sa question for the EMS judges. Wala na po ba tayong itatanong sa kanila for their presentation? Okay, thank you, judges. Thank you, MS, for the presentation. And now let's proceed for the HRDM presentation. Now, MS, you can now leave the meeting para mapasok naman yung HRDM. Sorry, Ma'am Cynthia, mayroon po kayong contact for the HRDM po? Sorry, Ma'am Cynthia, Sir Pido po. Meron po kayong contact for the HRDM?
Yes, kinokontak na po. Kinokontak na
Okay,
po.
okay. Thank you po. So, wala na pong EMS dito and OA na nakikinig. So, HRDM na po dapat ang nandito. Kung meron pa po, please leave the meeting na po.
Pahinaan ako saglit, kami na.
Second year, Mr. Jason Gutierrez. Third year, Mr. John Moore. Fourth year, Ms. Rodrigueza Felix. And now we will start our video presentation of Apple.
The target market are needed to higher income class because we serve the best quality of meat. We come up the statement of the problem on how to increase the sales of Mr. Lim's revenue because we want to save and expand his business.
In our business model canvas, consumer segment, mass market, in terms of marketing strategy, this customer mass market that allows the consumer to seek the good quality product of the meat. Values preposition, convenience, this will be a given that can convince every potential customer to buy our high quality product. Revenue stream, sales of production. We believe the strategy of Mr. Lim Farm into meat shop can give the sales from the consumer to gain a service sold by the business. Channels, online ordering possible. Since pandemic, we decided to change our marketing strategy. The process of ordering is through online only, means no walk-in clients are allowed. Customer relationship, customer satisfaction. We have to meet the customer satisfaction by providing high quality meat product. Key activities, both sharing expertise. Key resources, which are human and machines. Human. These workers are responsible for cutting different types of meat cuts. It represents our butcher. Machines. This is a tool or equipment so our workers are used for cutting meats. Key partners. Sole proprietorship into corporation. We decided to change our business from sole proprietorship to corporation, which is BP Fresh Meat Shop, to lessen the expenses unlike before, and also to get capital from our own investors. Cost structure, overhead, no more farm operation, no insurance, and of course, the last one is no storage cost.
Marketing. High quality. We can assure that our product is in high quality because it came from a 1-year-old cattle that is fresh and new. Shifting from farming into meat shop. We decided to shift the business to meat shop because from that we can lessen the expenses unlike before, and also to expand our potential clients and buyers to buy our product that is came from the farm of our own supplier. Every day we will get at least 5 live cattle and transfer it into different types of meat cuts before we distribute it to our buyers. Different meat cuts. In order to meet our customers' expectations, of course, we have different types of meat cuts with high quality, namely chopped steak cut, sirloin cut, short rib cut, brisket cut, a round roast cut. These different types of meat cuts are sold for a reasonable prices. No frozen beef or meat will be sold. Ordering will be based on demanding as much as possible. Since we serve the best quality of meat, we are no longer selling our product into frozen. We want our customers satisfied in terms of quality. New branding. We decided to change our business from sole proprietorship to corporation, which is Beefy Fresh Meat Shop, to lessen the expenses unlike before, and also to get the capital from our own investors. PubMed. Via social media, this is a part of our marketing strategy which we can advise our product through social media using PubMed. PubMed is a like traditional poster that is spread out via social media. SWOT analysis, strength, quality cuts, fresh every day, expert batchers, reliable suppliers, middle income to high income customers. Weakness, new in the market, limited storage because of course it needs to always be fresh, outsourcing of cattle meat. Opportunities, possible partnership to supermarkets. Threats, new competitors. Thank you.
In financial forecasting, we are expected to sell 6 types of meat products per day as shown below. We expect to sell 83 kilos of each meat product per day, and if we multiply it by the expected selling price per kilos, our total daily sale will be 211,650. At 211,650 sales per day, our monthly sales is 6.3 million. We deduct the cost of goods sold amounting to 1.2 million and operating expenses amounting to 43,000. Our net income for the month is expected to be 5.106,500 million. As reflected in our balance sheet, you can see that our cash is composed of initial capital amounting to 4 million and the net income amounting to 5 million. It is assuming that all products are sold in cash.
So thank you for the presentation, and now let's proceed for the judges' question and answer. Judges, ano pong question nyo sa kanilang presentation?
So syempre ako na mauuna. Good afternoon, everyone. A couple of questions for you guys. The first one is, in your balance sheet, before I go to that, you mentioned that you're going to change your business model from sole proprietorship to corporation. Was that correct? Or did I get that right?
Yes, sir. That's correct, sir.
Right. So in your balance sheet, have you forecasted the actual incorporation fees needed? Or are you aware how much is it to incorporate nowadays under the SEC? Which actually leads to my question, your change of business model at this point, given the current business where Mr. Lim is, do you think that that is the most viable and prudent way of success in terms of the business?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
Yep, I can
Okay.
hear you. Jan, is it you speaking?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. Good afternoon, series panelists. Based on the forecasting that given to the presentation,
Mhm.
we aware that the accounting we are aware that your the accounting principles in terms of example, uh, we can buy a uh, uh, meat yon and then as you can see the financial statement,
Mhm.
the the assets and also known as the asset and the
Your
bonus
T
equity
account.
are using. Yes po. We can use this na ano po, pwede po siyang magamit by the ano po, ano ba tawag dito? Kumbaga siya po yung yan po yung ginamit namin for the ano, since nga po yung problem kasi po is kailangan niya po mag-loan. So come up po kami ng isang product
Business
alternative way. Yes sir. Alternative way to revive their company, which is going to corporation. So bakit po why choose corporation? Because of the investors, right sir? Investors is the we can share their expertise to their to revive their company, and because of that we can advantages, like example, we have a limited liabilities that we can
LLC.
and no interest that
Mhm.
we can and not interest sir, rather sorry.
Mhm.
And also the principles on legal basis. That's all sir.
Yep. So thank you for pointing that out. No, because in a corporate structure, I don't know if you are aware, before you can fully incorporate, if you're looking at investor, there is a process in the Philippines such as investor pooling. Ang investor pooling, you have to get a permit just to pool an investor. If you take a look at your problem, di ba meron siyang existing money? Kinonsider ba natin yon? Is the current asset of Mr. Lim enough to cover for expenses for you to even change? Kasi hindi kayo makakuha ng investor funding hanggat hindi kayo nag-investor pooling. So at his current asset, were you able to consider na even starting the process of getting investor may not be enough, or is it enough? That's why the follow-up question is the change of business model a prudent shift at this point? Papalitan natin from sole proprietorship into a corporation. But Mr. Lim is even asking for a bank loan kasi kulang yung pera niya. If you are going to shift, yung pera bang nasa kanya ngayon, is it enough to start the shift? Have you, when you made that decision to shift the business model, did you consider the pre-incorporation costs as part of the shift? Kasi ang nakita ko lang, you presented it na nakapag-shift na kayo. But is the shift even possible?
Yes po sir, ginamit po namin yung dati niyang budget. Yung
How much ang
total
budget?
po,
Let me check. Sorry, naglalag yung. How much is the current asset? Do you still remember? Currently, it's around 8.5, pero meron kang AR na 150.
150.
May balance sheet kayo as of February 12, right?
Sorry po, open mic po. Open cam po pala, sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at, I guess where I am leading at in this is that before you shift your business from whatever state into a corporation, and you are telling me kasi na magpupull kayo ng investors, di ba? Pooling an investor has an initial cost in it. And I'm gonna give you the figure right now. An initial investor pooling would cost you right off the bat around 7.5 to 12 million pesos. Kaya ba ng pera niya? Para makapag-apply kayo for investor pooling. That's why I am asking, do you think it's prudent, wise move ba siya business-wise to change and shift from sole proprietorship to a corporation? Kasi the second question nito is, pwede ako mag-loan sa bank to start that. Hindi lang 8 dadagdagan ko.
Pero po kasi, hindi po maa-approve agad-agad yung loan niya kasi po may requirements po na kailangan sa bangko na which is one year above pa po bago siya makapag-loan.
Yes. That's why my
Kasi po-
question is, posible ba? Are you able to shift now? Kasi that's what you're pegging. Hindi lang actually business model ang pinilitan nyo. The actual business, you changed it. Eh, hindi na kayo tama ba mag-farm, mag-meat shop na kayo? Diba? So the overall question is, given your reality, was it even a prudent move?
Pa-repeat po, sir. Sorry po.
So given that reality, diba? Kasi you pushed for a move. Your business plan is hinged on nakapag-move na kayo. Tama? Minove nyo na eh. Pero yung proseso ng pag-move from sole proprietorship into a corporation where you will be pooling a set of investors requires an additional cost. Was that given or was that included as part of the mix? Kung yes, then fine. The next question is, yung gagastusin nyo ba para lang ma-convert siya? Kasi sabi niyo mag-i-investor eh. Di ba mag-i-investor kayo? So John mentioned an LLC structure, a limited liability corporation. There are other forms of corporations which I know that you're aware of. But the process itself of pooling an investor here in the Philippines requires even additional costs na. So do you think it is a wise decision given all of those realities, including yung pera ni Mr. Lim, na right off the bat in his current structure, in his current business is already inadequate? Is shifting for you the best decision? There's no right or answer. I'm just asking. If you say yes, if you say no, I just want to hear your thoughts.
Yes po.
In what aspects?
Kukuha po kami ng pera doon siguro po sa may loyal customer po namin. Tsaka yung cattles na natitira po namin. So ang mangyayari po nun, maaaring po namin ibenta yung mga natitira naming cattles para makasimula po kami sa panibago po naming business.
Okay, if that's the case, that would have been out of the question if that was visible right off the bat. Okay? So if you told me that earlier na kasi mag-change kayo, di ba? Mag-shift kayo. Bebenta muna namin, sir, yung meron kami kasi nga hindi naman na kami magfa-farm eh. Kung may pera kami doon, yun. So that would have been painted a different picture. Okay? Okay pa ba tayo?
Okay po.
Yes po.
Okay. So one last question. Yung 83 nyo doon sa projected sales nyo, saan natin nakuha yun? Meron ba tayong research na ginawa na ganon ang bentahan sa isang araw or yun ang target?
Yes po, sir. Kasi po 5 cattles per day po. So automatic po 500 siya.
Oo, pero ang question, yun ba ang bentahan sa market? Si Monterey ba nakakaganyan sa isang araw? Si Garcia Farms ba nakakaganyan ng isang araw? So saan natin nakuha yung 83 na yun? I think I'm looking at, did you do your market research to know how your niche is performing at this time? Kasi importante yun pa nagpo-forecast kayo. Kasi for example, magpo-forecast ako magkano ba yung income ko. Siyempre, ang peg natin doon is you have to do your niche research. So ganun din ba ang bentahan ng mga competitors in your new business that you are now trying to implement?
Actually po, sir, nag-focus lang po kami sa 5 cattles.
Okay, sige. So at least that's also an optimum. You call that your optimal forecast.
Yes po.
So in the future, you make that as part of the label, optimal financial forecast. So kung pag nabenta niyo yung 5 cattle na yun, ito po yung kikitain natin. Okay?
Sir, thank you po.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, sir. To other judges, meron po ba kayong question sa kanilang presentation?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po.
Hi. First and foremost lang nalilito ako kasi ang dami ko nakikita mga tao dito. Hindi ko alam kung sino mga kasama kong judges. Is Miss Glodo one of us? Dr. Manalad?
Coach po si Ma'am Glodo, sir. Bali, tatlo lang po kayong judges, sir. Si
Okay.
Patrick at saka si Ma'am Maurice Parbilia po. Si Ma'am Maurice Parbilia.
Okay. So coach pala si Ma'am Glodo. Naghihintay ako magsalita si Ma'am Glodo, yung pala coach pala si Ma'am Glodo. Okay. So,
Di po sila allowed. Di po sila allowed magsalita. Nakamute po sila.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, can I request those people na nag-represent, sana naman pag nag-question kami, nasa screen na rin sila, nasa monitor namin, para kausap namin sila, para i-question din namin sila directly. Kasi as far as I know, this one is a competition, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes po, sir.
Okay. Can I start no may inquiry about the people? So, hindi ko kasi masyadong I just only received one copy eh. The first one was coming from the Champion Cattle. So, okay, but nonetheless, eto niya ako. Nag-chat lang ako as madalian yung presentation. So, nakuha ko lang si Pilas and then More. At kaya gusto ko makita sana. So, I have 4 people with. This is the person that I want to discuss with you. The objective is how to increase the sales of Mr. Lim. Did I get it right? Your objective, right? Thumbs up. Ayoko ng kinda. Thumbs up. Hindi ko nakikita ang thumbs up. Thumbs up. Ganon. Para at least okay ako sa tatanong ko. So, okay, nagkaintindihan tayo. Yan ang yung objective. To increase the sales of Mr. Lim. Okay. Relative sa inquiry ni Sir Pat Belora is shifting from sole to corporate entity is the major solution. Considering the fact na dati siya ay farm, na eto ang kanyang kita at siya ay nalugi, kaya maglo-loan siya. Na ang inyong nire-recommenda ay magbebenta kayo ng meat. Tama? Meat ang inyong ititinda. Hindi ko kasi nakita sa presentation na ganito kalaki ang kailangan ninyong kapital para makapag-produce kayo ng meat. Is the corporation the right solution to help or to increase the sales of Mr. Lim? Anyone? So Mr. Gutierrez, I want to hear your lovely voice.
Ma'am,
Wala, si Mr. Gutierrez, pinagalitan ng asawa. Ayan, good.
Yun nga po, ma'am. Dun sa capital na based on our marketing plan, everyday kumukuha kami ng at least 5 live cattle from our suppliers. Sa 5 live cattle yun, each of cattle amounting to 3,000 per head, and tumitimbang po yun ng 40 kilos. So sa 5 cattle po na yun, maibebenta po namin siya ng 500. It depends po sa meat cuts po, yung prices po.
Okay.
You can sell it for a reasonable prices po.
You can sell it.
So hindi na po namin
Sige, go ahead.
So hindi na po namin kailangan ng ganun kalaking halaga para po mag-fund po saan na yan. Because may naman po kami, may supplier na po kami ng cattle. Tatawagan na lang po namin siya to deliver the live cattle. Kami na po magkakatay. Then ita-transfer it namin siya into different types of meat cuts.
Okay.
And
so, sige, that bounce back sa question ko kay Mr. More. Kasi sabi ni Mr. More kanina, kailangan niya mag-seek ng investors. Right? Pero ang sabi mo ngayon, hindi niyo na kailangan ng ganung kalaking halaga. So meron yata conflict of interest tayo, corporators. So anong masasabi mo ni Madam Pilias, CEO Pilias? Mukhang dalawang nagtatalong information ang nakuha ko ngayon.
Permission to speak po.
Ang sabi ni Mr. Mori kanina, nung tinanong siya ni Sir Pat, ang sabi niya, you need more investors for a corporation. Ang sabi naman ngayon ni Mr. Gutierrez, Lovely Gutierrez, hindi nyo naman kailangan ng ganong kalaking kapital. So bakit nyo pa kailangan ng mga investors? Nag-uusap ba kayong nag-uusap ba ang grupo ninyo? Bakit nakarinig ako ng magkasalungat na ideya ngayon? Miss Pilias?
Kasi po yung pinagbentahan po ng cattle ng unang-una, umabot po kasi siya ng 4.292 po. So bali po, ayun po yung ginamit naming panimula para po makapag-start ng business para po sa Beefy Fresh Meat Shop.
Okay. Miss Pilias, hindi mo pa rin nasasagot ang aking katanungan. Binagbigay ka lang sa akin ng introduction kung paano kayo nagsimula. Ang tinatanong ko, kung sa palagay, kung sinabi ni Mr. Gutierrez na hindi nyo naman kailangan ng ganong kalaking startup capital, bakit naman sinabi ni Mr. More na kailangan nyo maging corporation kasi nga daw kailangan nyo ng more investors? Ano ba ang talagang totoo? Kaya ang una kong katanungan, ito bang inyong recommendation? Yung inyo bang business proposal nga ba ang sagot sa ekonomiya ni Mr. Lim? Kasi kung tinitingnan ko ang marketing plan ninyo, kung marketing plan ninyo, ang nakikita ko to, masyado siyang mababa. Masyadong hindi ninyo inaral. Kasi kung tatanungin ko siya, nakalagay doon, no frozen meat available. Kailangan daw beef will be sold. Definitely, ang beef ibibenta ninyo. Then, I saw the different cuts of meat na nandoon kayo. Nakita ko yung brisket, blah, 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 blah. And from your SWOT analysis, one of your weakness is definitely new in the market. But those cuts is not new in the market. Lahat yan, may ganong klaseng sizes na nga, may ganong cuts na nga pinagbibili sa market. Kahit nga sa palengke, meron na nga. So it's not new in the market. So bakit siya magiging weakness? So, at sana lang, ang sa akin lang, lagi niyong iniisip, huwag kayong lalayo sa objective ninyo. Gusto niyo makatulong kay Mr. Lim mag-increase ang kanyang sales. Sana naisip niyo sana, yun ang ano ko, kaya gusto ko maintindihan ngayon, na sana hindi kayo lumayo sa objective ninyo. Ang dami niyo in-explain, pero sana naintindihan niyo at the end of the line, may gastos pa rin iyon. Gagastos pa rin kayo. Branding is one of the name of the game na gusto niyo maitulong, pero may gastos pa rin sa branding. That's one. Then, pag-create ng new branding, as what I mentioned, may cost. And then, relative sa inquiry ni Sir Pat kanina, yung 83, yung daw bang standard talaga. So, sana lang sa presentation ninyo, it's a business plan. Everything should be clear. Dapat nakadetalye. Anong 83 yon times 520 and you're going to come up into this one. What is 83 then? Kaya nga, tama naman si Sir, sususugan ko lang yung sinasabi ni Sir Pat. Meron nga ba kayong marketing research? Talagang yun ba ang kailangan ninyo? The mere fact na yung supplier ninyong pagkukunan, gaano ka-concrete na siya ay ang inyong supplier? May attachment ba kayo ng MOU sa kanila? May agreement ba kayo sa kanila? What if hindi sila makakuha ng ganitong araw? 83 kilos, malaki na yan. Tandaan na ninyo. And then afterwards, paano kinonsider nyo ba yung mga shortcomings ngayon ng economy natin? Ang mga problema natin ngayon. Then, kapag hindi na i-produce ng 83 kilos na to, kanino kayo kukuha? The same price pa rin ba ang makukuha ninyo? So those are, kaya ang tanong ko nga, sa palagay nyo ba yung etong proposal ninyo ang siya bang kasagutan para ma-increase ang sales ni Mr. Lim. So, yun lang po ang sa akin, yun lang po ang pinakahuli kong ano sa inyong katanungan, ha? Anyway, I am rating naman. So, thank you very much, Mr. Paul Chan Guapo. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you po, ma'am. Grabe, may may pag-compliment pa. So wala na pong judges na magtatanong sa group ng HRDM.
No more question na. They already
Okay.
covered everything.
Thank you, Ma'am Maurice. Okay, thank you, HRDM, for the presentation. And now let's proceed to our final team, the office administration. And HRDM, you may now leave the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you, thank you.
May I acknowledge the presence of our one of the judges, no, our chairman of the judges, Dr. Jaisel Mabansag. Good afternoon, sir.
Ako. Good afternoon, Dr. Manala. Naging judges naman agad ako. Alam mo lang naman ako, pang ano lang ako, back lang ako. Di ba, no, Sir Guapo Paul Chan?
Nagulat nga rin po ako, bigla po kayo nandito eh. Kaya
Siyempre, kasama siya din sa
Wow.
judges. Kasama siya
Kasi
din sa
lang-
judges. In-introduce siya, nakita mo naman, ha? Cum
Yes
laude
po.
namin yan. Product namin yan. Oh.
ay,
Kasi hindi
grabe.
naman,
Ang
actually
dami
kasi,
ng offices. Ang dami ng offices sa pinanggalingan yan. Kaya kung
Mm.
makapagtanong ng mga 83 million.
Kaya
nakita
grabe
mo.
nga po siya magtanong eh. Talagang
Ano
ano eh.
Billion kasi yung pinuproduce niya.
ay, hindi ba ako na-introduce? Sorry. Ito lang ako magagandang angel dito eh.
Madam, ganito. Ipapabalikin ko na lang yung first group para po matanong din ninyo. To be fair with the other two groups. Pero
Okay,
kayo na lang po ang magtatanong, ma'am, kasi nakapagtanong na po yung dalawang judges sa kanila. Okay lang po ba, ma'am?
Okay. Okay lang po, okay lang po, okay lang.
Okay po. Sige po. So let's proceed na siguro sa OA po, Sir Upido. Paki-play na po.
Okay.
Ma'am, please let the office of the administration representatives to.
Ay, sinabihan ko na po. Okay. And ma'am, Sir Jaisel and Sir Patrick and Ma'am Parbilia, pwede po, kasi ang question and answer po natin is limited to a maximum of 8 minutes para po makawawa rin naman po yung mga bata pag na-stress na sila magsagot. Na-stress din po sila. Basta 8 minutes lang po, no? So, kung maaari
8
po.
minutes?
8 minutes na po tayong lahat. Kayong lahat na po 8 minutes na.
Dr. Manalat, sana pa bang sasobrahan na? Ding, 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 ha? Paki-message lang ako.
Opo, sige po. Paul, please, ha? Siguro we can allot 4
8
minutes
minutes, ma'am.
to, basta 3 minutes siguro sila will do. 3
Oo.
minutes kay Sir
Okay,
Jaisel,
okay.
3 minutes kay Sir Patrick, and 3 minutes kay Ma'am Parbilia, ha?
Okay po. Bali, hanapan ko na lang po kung paano po sila ikakat. Kasi po, para hindi rin po nakakabastos
Oo.
in a way po.
Correct. Kasi si Sir Jaisel, naku, hindi mo pwede ikat yan.
Ang ganda nga po ng question niya eh, kaya ang hirap pong ikat eh.
Sige. Okay na po. Okay na po.
You can send us a direct message sa Zoom.
Siguro,
po. Thank
siguro.
Message nyo lang. Kasi napipili nyo naman kung it's either for everyone or for a specific person.
Sige po. Okay po. Thank you, sir.
Good day. We the
Yan na po
representatives
ba ang mga
of the
OA?
SOE
Parang nakikita
made a
naman po
business
natin ang mga
proposal
OA.
about Champion Cattle Farms Incorporation. The target market. The target market of Champion Cattle Farms
Nakita mo na
Incorporation
sila, Chan?
are the traders and meat dealers. Statement of the problem. How can Albert Lim sustain or finance his farm? Business model canvas. Business model canvas showed sales from cattle and other operation. The key partners of the business
Hello?
that the corporation does to succeed
Yes, they are here.
and need the resources to function. The business sells cattle to satisfy the needs of the customers. Champion Cattle Farms maintains its relationship with their customers to retain and boost sales. Likewise, the representatives are well trained to accommodate buyers, traders, and meat dealers. Business incur costs based on the operation and other expenses. Marketing plan. Mission. To be a progressive farm and operation in order to provide a high quality and healthy cattle. Vision. To be one of the best hub in cattle industry, maintaining the highest standards of health and service. Campaign plan. Social media platform and flyers. Financial forecasting. This is the financial forecasting of the Champion Cattle Farms, and the total net income is 21,602,000.
The video is done, or would you like to have another one?
Calling the attentions of the OA participants. Meron pa ba kayong video?
Okay na po yung ano na po namin, video na po namin.
Okay.
Okay, so we will proceed to the question and answer na.
Apo.
Okay, judges, you may have a 3 minutes to give questions to the participants po. So, timer starts now na po.
Good afternoon.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay na? Kasi naman, gwapong Paul dyan, i-acknowledge mo ang mga tatlong judges. Naghihintayan kami, baka bigla kami mag-support na mataranta ka sa amin.
Hindi, malapit ko na po i-call yung attention nyo rin po.
Yan. Okay na, under time pressure kami. Under time pressure kami, tinalo namin ng pageant. Okay, can I see those people na nag-present? On screen? Yan,
yes,
online.
cam na lang.
Wow, thank you very much. Gorgeous. Ang gwapo ni Soria, nakaka-in-love.
Thank you po.
Oo, okay. Yan ang mga pangarap ko makasama sa lunch. Okay, so, your objective is how to sustain the farm of Mr. Lim, right?
Yes po.
Okay, very good. So, cattle.
Yes
Actually,
po.
right now, okay, life ko ngayon, I am living in a farmhouse in Silang. And one of the things that I love there is those people na nag-aalaga ng cattle. So, you have a figure 35 pesos per cattle. Tama ba yung figure nyo yan?
35,000 po, ma'am.
Ay, 35,000. Tama ba yung figure na yan?
Yes po, ma'am. Kasi yung ano na po yan, yung fully grown na po na cattle po. Nagre-range po siya sa 35 to 40,000 per unit po sa isang cattle po.
Sa isang cattle. At nag-range siya ng ilang kilo ng isang cattle?
100 to 120 kilogram po.
Kilogram. So, kapag yan ay dinivide nyo, magkano lang ang isang kilo ng cattle?
Isang kilo ng 35.
Burger. Na-compute ko na? Ang tagal ng akin. May nagko-compute sa akin dito, mathematician. Anong pangalan? Kim. Okay. Okay, Miss Kim, mathematician, ang galing niya mag-compute. Dali, na-compute na? Do you think, kung magkano kinalabasan din mathematician Kim, kung magkano ang kinalabasan, do you think masusustain nga ba nun ang farm ni Mr. Lim per kilo? Yung operation na, operating cost niya per day. Considering, nakita ko rito, may kino-consider kayo yung mga veterinary supplies, then wages and farm labor, purchase feeds. Ang pag-aalaga sa isang cattle, saan mo siya ngayon ipifeed para masabi natin ang ganda ng kanyang kilo? Paano pag sumobra siya, pag tumaba ang isang cattle, nasobrahan siya, hindi ba siya magkakaroon ng problema? Kasi hindi ko siya nakita, yung veterinary ninyo, yung inyong tinuturok ba? Ano ba ang ginagamit ninyo? Magkano ba ang cost niyan? Kasi nagkaroon din ako ng breeding I love dogs and Persian cats. So yan ang mga previous na naging business ko there in Silang Cavite. Now in Silang Cavite. So medication pa lang, maintenance nun, kailangan ma-maintain ko. In sustaining those things, sinasama ko yan sa operating cost ko. So kinonsider niyo ba iyon?
Yes po, ma'am.
Para ma-sustain yung farm. But I haven't seen it this way. I haven't seen this. Next. Yung climate, yung weather ba sa lugar niya sa Batangas, kung kailan malamig, kung kailan mainit, paano ba? Ang pagpapastol ba? Paano ba? Hindi ko yata nakita yung detail ng inyong nakalagay na kasi farm labor. Paano ang pagpapastol niya sa napakain sa nagpapastol? Gaano ka ba kalaki yung hektarya ng lupa ninyo na ilang cattle ang pwede doon? At kapag siya ba ay nanganak, may paglalagyan na ba kayo? Ano bang gusto ninyo? Paano niyo siya maiikot-ikot? Para masustain ninyo yung farm. Ibibreed niyo ba rin siya? Paano kung hindi siya ibibreed? Hanggang kailan mo ba? Ano ba ang tamang age para ibenta si cattle? Para ma-meet ninyo yung tamang kilogram? Kasi talking about sustainability tayo.
Apo, ma'am. So yung tanong po dun sa kung paano namin masusustain, yung sa bawat per cattle po, ma'am, pag kumbaga mayroon siyang yearling or na isang nakakainap na po.
Sabi mo na lalaki. Nagpapabulot ng ngipin si doktor. Ay, nakamike ba?
Ay, sorry.
Sorry ha, kasi tinawagan ako eh. Hinahanap sa akin si Doktora Bide, nagpapabunot ng ngipin si Doktora. Okay, go.
Ayun po, ma'am. Yung sa amin naman, ma'am, same lang po. Kumbaga, yung gagawin namin, may ililimit lang po namin yung mga cattle namin. Kumbaga, yung period po namin ng pagpapafeed sa kanila, kumbaga, sa isang taon, 6 na buwan po namin siyang i-feed. Tapos kumbaga, yun na po yung pinaka-ano namin, ma'am, pinaka-regular na tawag dito, pinaka-regular na pagpapa-feed sa kanila. Kasi yung hektarya naman namin, ma'am, yung lupaan namin, kakasya na po doon yung 1,200 na cattle. Ayun po. Kumbaga yung kumbaga paano ba? Yung 1,200 na yun, ma'am, covered na po yun doon sa binili naming lupa. Sa binili namin na lupa. Tapos yung kada isang cattle, ma'am, mayroon na po kaming sinet doon na per 6 na buwan, kailangan sumakto na po yun doon sa 120 kilograms. Dapat umabot siya doon sa 120 kilograms. Paano siya aabot doon? Doon naman namin siya lalabanan doon sa pagpapaalaga namin, sa pagpapastol namin, sa mga pagpapaturok namin para ma-diet. Considered na po yung panahon, yung pagkain, tsaka maganon. Kumbaga yung namin, ma'am, 6 months po. Kailangan sa 6 months na yun, aabot na kami ng 120 kilograms.
That is 6 months. Pero paano yung revolving fund ninyo? Paano ang gastos ninyo within 6 months? After 6 months ka pakikita. Pero yung 1 month to 5th month, Ano nangyayari? Paano ang pambayad? Next. Sabi mo, meron na kayong bahay. Si Chan, time ko na, Chan. Umagang si sorry.
Mo po, ma'am. Sorry po. Magkataon po
Sasagutin niya
yung
sana
question,
kita,
pero
sorry.
kailangan po natin i-cut. Sorry. Para yung other judges po makapagtanong din po.
It's okay.
Sorry po, ma'am.
Okay, sorry yan, sorry.
Sir Delora naman po for your question.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. So, babalik lang ako dun sa the same jump of point siguro kay Dr. Mabansag, no? Sabi ni Dr. Mabansag is we go back to your objectives, and that is to either sustain or finance. So I just want to understand, when you said you wanted to sustain and finance, what is your definition of this? Paint me a picture of what to you is your problem. Kasi hindi ko siya nakita. Ano yung objective ninyo is, you said you wanted to sustain and finance. How do you see that panning out?
Sir, kasi yung ano po namin, yung kay Mr. Lim po kasi na due to lack of funds, so kailangan po talaga ng masustain po ng maayos yung pagpapakain po, yung pag-feed po ng cattle kasi within 6 months po kasi dapat magkaroon po ng next batch na cattle para naman po makapagpalaki po ulit at magkaroon po ng another fund. So kaya po yun yung sustain na sinasabi po namin.
So we're not looking at, you're telling me right now na your proposition really is hindi kayo mag-expand. Ang gusto niyo lang mabuhay lang si Mr. Lim kung ano yung meron siya ngayon. Am I getting? Wala tayong business expansion. Gusto niyo lang siyang i-fund. Kasi when you're saying financing, sustaining the business, it means na kung ano kayo ngayon, isusustain niyo yun. So wala tayong nakikitang business mod expansion, hindi pa ilalaki. Kung ano yung meron si Mr. Lim, yun lang din ang susundan nating track?
Hindi naman po, sir. Kasi if ever po na may possibility po na mas umangat po yung funds or yung revenue po na magiging sale po, if ever na mabenta po yung cattle, pwede po kasi siyang possibility na magkaroon ng milking cow po for the additional income.
Pero again, I'm going back to your objective kasi. When you have a business plan, your objective tells me what you wanted to do. And to me, ang gusto nyo lang is a smooth sailing, business as usual. Kasi sabi nyo lang is to finance and sustain. So, okay. So being that the case, sige, I'll give you that you wanted to increase. I'm looking at your marketing plan, and your campaign plan is social media platform and flyers. Related to sa tanong ni Dr. Mabansag din kanina regarding sustainability, costs, and stuff. Given your aim to sustain and finance, is your social media platform flyering, will this sustain? Given pag nagkaroon kayo ng additional funds, ang susi ba sa paglago ng business nyo is the social media platform and the flyers? Kasi that's what, again, I'm looking at your business plan right now. And your campaign plan tells me that you want to be more visible in the social media platform, and you want to go into the traditional flyering. Add to the mix, diba? If you go back, if you add to yung sa mix ninyo, and I'm looking at it, sabi nyo, ang key customer segmentation ninyo is relationship buyer. So kung may relationship buyer kayo, what does the social media platform do kung may relasyon na? Insofar as business continuity and business expansion is concerned.
Sir, to
Relax lang, Sheena. Relax lang.
para po if ever po na ma-expand pa po yung business through the use of online platform po, makaka-encourage po kami ng other customer na mapagkakatiwalaan kami na mag-supply pa po ng cattle.
But do you think that is the main channel?
Sir, for the
looking again, ilalagay natin sa context na your business plan tells me that you are going to pin down and double down on your campaign, which you indicate as number 1, social media platform, and number 2, flyering. Kasi what you're telling me, hindi ko nakita yun. Diba?
Yes, sir.
So ang pinronta niyo sa akin kasi is that something to think about in the next 30 seconds. Yun, kasi parang yun yung naging main theme. Your main campaign would be social media platform and the flyers. How does that translate to millions of revenues? Anyone from the group can answer.
Siya yun, sir. Wala po kasi namin, wala po kasi namin, sir, yung sa social media platforms kasi po, in times of now, di ba, ngayon po, mas flexible, mas convenient na po yung social media. Kumbaga, ang pinakamalakas ngayon ng demand ay yung nakikita sa social media. Para sa amin kasi, mas mabilis naming maaabot yung mga possible na consumers namin through social media. So, in case naman po na makapag-deal kami, may mga legal action naman po kaming gagawin for avoidance na po sa mga scammers. Ganun.
Okay. Siguro this is not a question. This is just a point that I want you to consider.
Tapos,
there is a proliferation ng internet. And the COVID, pinakita ko gaano ka-powerful si social media.
Yes po, sir.
But I am telling you now, not 100% of industries are in social media. Kaya ako binalik kanina sa customer nyo, because your customer segment are your relationships. So something to think about if you want to pursue this. Hindi lahat ng meat shop merong Facebook. Okay, so yun lang. That's a question, that's something for you to ponder upon. Try to get a lot of research on ano ba ang niche marketing when it comes to the cattle industry.
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, thank you, Sir Belora. To Miss Maurice Parbilia naman po, any questions regarding to their presentation po? Ma'am Parbilia?
Actually, wala naman.
Wala naman po.
Wala naman po. Okay, thank you po, ma'am.
Naano naman nila eh.
Okay, thank you.
Mag-review na lang ako ng financial forecast. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you, OA, for the presentation. And now, Ma'am Manalad, tapos na po yung OA. So, we will call all the participants na po ba?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Pababalikin natin ng EM kasi ang magtatanong na lang sa kanila is Dr. Jason.
Si Dr. Mabansag po.
Yes. Pero i-ano natin, ipi-play muna natin. Okay po ba, Sir Opido? Para na lang po maging patas ang pagbibigay natin ng mga grades kasi earlier hindi napanood ni Dr. Mabansag. Paki-play na lang po yung sa EM while I'm asking them to join the OA, leave muna the meet. EM, please join the meet while we are playing the presentation of EMS. Sir Opido, thank you po. Pa-play na lang po.
Thank you, OA. You may now leave the meeting.
We are going to present the business plan of Champion Cattle Farms Incorporated.
The target market of Champion Cattle Farm Incorporated are those traders, dealers, and vendors where they have the ability to pay cash or pay quickly. They may be vendors in the public markets, traders who supply cattle meat to supermarkets, and they may also be dealers with extensive connections in various areas where there is a high demand for meat or live cattle. The location of Champion Cattle Farm is located in Calatagan, South Batangas, where the location is good access to the port for quick and easy transportation of cattle to customers. The area is also large where the farm can accommodate 1,800 cattle. It also ensures that the cattle are healthy and at the right weight to distribute to various customers. Statement of the problem. Champion Cattle Farm has three major problems. These are the first, lack of investment, which Mr. Lim wants to expand his farm by adding 200 to 300 cattle every month, which cannot be done due to lack of money. Second, lack of supply for cattle, which will affect the health and handling of cattle. Possible lack of supply of food, water, and vitamins needed by every cattle on the farm. And lastly, the lack of personnel where the Champion Cattle Farm has only a few personnel to take care of the 1,800 cattle. So, here are the two questions which will help to provide a solution to the current problem of Champion Cattle Farm Incorporation. How they can get additional capital for the feedlot expansion, and what are the ways that the Champion Cattle Farm can do to increase funds for personnel that will take care of the farm.
In this slide, I will present the Champion Cattle Farms Incorporated business model canvas. In the problem, enclosed here are the problems that Mr. Lim is facing in his business, such as the lack of funds, supply, and personnel. Key activities are the most important actions that the business must perform, especially the marketing, inventory, and logistics. Key resources is also important to make Mr. Lim's business work. He must attain to have physical, human, intellectual, and finance resources. Heart of the perfect cattle farming is our value propositions. To get personal relationships, establish trust, and seed feedback is what the business needs to get along in customers. He used channels through direct offer, social networks, distributors, and to traders. These three given customer segments was stated in the target market. Cost structure and close this are expenses incurred in the business, and lastly, it stated the source of revenue in the business that you will see in the last slide.
These are the marketing plan of the business, SWOT analysis, strength, easy to transport, good location, weaknesses, lack of personnel, limited supply of cattle, opportunities, attract new customers, ability to develop additional stores, threats, competitor can offer similar products quickly, and competitors' popularity. These are the marketing mix four-piece product. The Champion Cattle Farm provides fresh and safety yet affordable cattle that consumer will be satisfied. Price. We use cost plus pricing strategy and our selling price will be 8,000 per head weighing 100 kilograms. Place. The business was located at South Batangas Province. It has a good access to the port for easy transport of cattle. Promotion. The business will market the product through direct offer, social networks, distributors, and traders.
Now, let us look into the financial forecast. As you see, the gross profit for a cattle at an average weight of 100 kilograms will be 5,000 pesos, meaning Mr. Lim will have a 62.5% gross margin. Mr. Lim's monthly batches is 200 to 300 cattle. Maximizing 300 cattle per month, the gross profit would amount to 1.5 million pesos. Involved in the operations. As stated, the feeding expenses per cattle amounts to 4,200 pesos. There is also a 10,000 pesos monthly overhead cost. The total expenses per month for 300 cattle is about 1,270,000 pesos, except for July since we are considering the 6 months monthly operation. Also, the September have different values because Mr. Lim only purchased 90 cattle during that time. The net profit before taxes will be 230,000 pesos except for July and September because of the same reason previously stated. The forecasted is based on the maximum potential of Mr. Lim's business. Given the forecasted net profit, we can see that there is still room for interest expense once he gets approved for the loan at Development Bank of Batangas. That's all. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Good morning.
Good day.
Thank you, EMS, for the presentation. And now, I'm calling the attention of Dr. Mabansag for the question and answer portion.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Mr. Chan. Okay, can I see those people who presented? Wow! Cute faces. Yan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Hi, thank
afternoon
you.
po.
Thank you very much. So, first inquiry ko ha, ang pinaka-need ninyo is definitely, your objective is the additional investment to maximize the farm capacity of Mr. Lim. Right? Left?
Right.
Ay, very good. Okay, for a while ha, Mr. Chan, I have an inquiry. Naka-under time pressure ako ng 3 minutes only.
3 to 5 minutes, ma'am. Sige. Total, ikaw na
3
lang
to
po yung
5 minutes.
magtatanong eh.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr.
Okay,
Chan.
thank you.
Okay, so additional investment to maximize the farm capacity. So kanina ko pa tinitingnan, lumalapit ako sa screen kanina, pinapagalitan na ako ni Ms. Kim. But nonetheless, hindi ko nakita yung hinahanap ko. I'm looking for a figure. Ang sabi nyo, you want to maximize the farm capacity. I just want to know, gaano kalaki yung farm?
It can accommodate po ng 1,200 to 1,800 full-grown cattle po yung farm ni Mr. Lim.
Wow, what a wonderful question. Answer, Miss Alonso. Balikan ko ulit ang tanong, Miss Alonso. Gaano kalaki ang farm? Is it a hectare? Is it a square meter na pwede ang 1,000 to 1,200 full-grown cattle? Paano po? Kasi yun ang hinahanap ninyo eh. Gusto nyo ma-maximize yung investment sa farm. Pero ang tanong ko nga, gaano ba kalaki ang farm na gusto nyo ma-maximize? Na makikita natin sa Calatagan, Batangas. Right, Miss Pilapil?
Yes po.
Ay, very good. Sige. Para maiswak natin yung problema ninyo. Kasi tatlong problema ninyo. Ang problema ninyo na-identify, you lack supplies, you lack funds, you lack personnel, pero gusto nyo pa rin ma-maximize ang capacity ni farm. Na ang tanong, bawal judgmental, gaano ba kalaki ang farm na pinoproblema natin para ma-maximize natin? Kasi hindi ko siya nakita eh. Kasi to be able for you to maximize everything, dapat alam mo yung scope, yung boundary mo, yung limitation mo, para ma-maximize natin.
Sir, pwede mag-comment?
Sige po.
Sir, kasi may problema po dun sa problem, hindi po nila na-state kung gaano kalaki ang lot, sir. Sabi nila na problem, sir, hindi po nila na-state. Puro assumption lang na ganito, kayang magganito. Yung binigay po na problem, wala pong sukat na ibinigay, sir.
Okay. So kung gano'n naman po, pwede po bang i-rephrase yung pinaka-objective nila? Kasi nakalagay farm capacity, dapat ma-identify nila yung talaga ano bang ini-specify nila kung anong capacity ng kanilang hinahanap. But nonetheless kasi, pag hinanap mo yung farm capacity at you discuss about different info about the farm, unang tanong, gaano ba kalaki ang farm? Para mag-cash ang 1,200. Sana lang, if it is an estimation, sana mas maganda na rin na kung pangarap lang yan or gano'n, they can give us figures man lang sana.
Drawing man lang,
diba?
pangarap pala kasi. Yung problem nakakainis yung problem, sir. Hindi nagbigay ng details in terms of measurement ng lot. Tama ka doon, pangarap lang.
Oo, kasi di ba, ito tayo, you are going to propose a business. At nasabi nyo nga, you discuss about the demographic, you discuss the geographic. Definitely. So, pero lahat ng bagay na yon sa lugar na yon, oo, totoo ka. Kasi malapit siya sa mga port. Ang ganda ng scenery dyan sa lugar na yan. Nandiyan yung isa sa pinakamagandang resort ng Shangri-La Manila. So, it's there. So, it's nice. So, sana lang, mas maganda to para at least na-identify nila kung ano talaga yung gusto nila, ma-maximize yung capacity. Ngayon, kung gusto nyo ma-maximize yung farm capacity, definitely, we're looking forward sa length, sa width, sa height ng farm. Ganun kasi farm capacity, unless otherwise sana, in-identify nila kung anong gusto talaga nila. So just like in a research, na-identify sana natin yung variables. So, yun ang hindi ko siya mag-get kasi may problema na siya, yung supplies. Saan mo ngayon ilalagay yung supplies? Kung problema yan. Gusto mo i-maximize yung capacity. Meron ba siyang storage? Yun ang kasagutan dyan Kung ang problema mo supplies, saan mo ilalagay si supplies? Dapat may storage siya. At dapat may kwenta ka doon. Kung magkano mo kwenta sa storage, kulang ka nga ng funds. Sana they get the point. Kulang ka nga ng funds. Paano ka kukuha ng supplies? Paano ka pa kukuha ng tao? You lack funds. We're talking here about business. We're talking here about...
Okay, siguro hindi na tayo makapag-antay para sa iba. Pero for sure naman may mga representative dito ng HRDM and OA. Kahit pa hindi kompleto, sige, i-announce ka na. And now, the most awaited moment of the program is the awarding. Okay? So, awarding na tayo. Narinig ba ako, guys?
Yes po.
Okay, thank you. To the third runner-up, that has an average 69 yung average score ng third runner-up. The third runner-up for the online business plan competition goes to Human Resource Management. Sorry, paano na lang po ako ng mga mics niyo po, pa-off na lang po ako. Narinig niyo yung announce ko, the third runner-up for the online business competition goes to HRDM, Human Resource Management. So, palakpakan po natin ng HRDM, no? So, having a score of 69. And next naman po is i-announce ko na po kung sino yung nanalo. Para alam nyo rin kung sino yung magiging second placer. So, ito ang pinakaantay ng dalawa. Dalawa lang naman natitirang competitors EM and OA, which is Entrepreneurship and Office of Administration. And now for the champion of online business plan competition 2021 goes to Office Administration, who has average score of 79. And following the average of EMS, meron silang average na 76.33. So,
Thank you po. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Alam niyo na sino yung third runner-up, sino yung second runner-up, and sino ang nanalo sa online business plan competition. Okay? But parang lulungkot nyo, dapat magsaya kayo.
Thank you po.
Thank you po. Have a great pleasure na makasako sa business plan presentation.
Okay? And for the closing remarks, let me introduce to you our beautiful professor, Ms. Annalyn Buenaseda.
Wow, thank you, Paul. Talagang beautiful pa ha. Okay, good afternoon. On behalf of the Entrepreneurial Management Society organizers, I would like to congratulate all the participants for the business presentation, the EM, the Human Resource Management, and the Office Ad. Well done, students. Also, I just want to share this to you. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Wishing is not enough, we must do, by Johann von Goethe. So, ibig sabihin yan, it reminds us to apply what we learn and take action towards success rather than waiting and hoping. So hopefully someday magkaroon ng reality lahat ng mga natutunan natin. I would also like to take this moment to thank all our distinguished judges, our Director for International Linkages, Of course, Dr. Jaisel A. Mabansag, the ever beautiful, of course. Our senior training specialist for Canva, Mr. Patrick Clement Delora. Our proprietor, owner of T-Shack, Miss Maurice Varsaga Parbilia. And of course, our EM area chairperson, Dr. Cynthia A. Manalad, for making this presentation and discussion a success. Finally, thank you all participants and everyone involved in planning and holding this event. We're truly grateful for your valuable contribution and attendance. Again, salamat and happy 75th anniversary to us. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Ana Buenaseda. Thank you everyone, especially sa mga participants na nandito, sa winner, sa third runner-up, and second placer. Deserve nyo yan, guys. So, hi, I'm Paul Anderson Chan again, and I'm your host for today. Thank you and have a great life.